Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of There is Scrap, the Aluminum Podcast. That is the podcast where we dive into the sustainability and efficiency of the aluminum industry. I am your host, Julio Quintero. I am changing a little bit the introduction. Let me know if you like it or not. But today I want to talk. Few weeks ago, we had Chuck Johnson, the president and CEO of the the Aluminum Association, and we talked about the roadmap of the decarbonization of the aluminum industry, right? And I want to give you some input today about the same article. The idea is I want to link this video with an article that we are launching tomorrow, talking about this, let's say, amazing paper that we have right now in this industry as a call to action in order to move the industry not just to the sustainability point of view, but also from where we are right now to push the industry to reach the goals that we have on the recycling side of the industry. So I have my script here. I will read some of the parts that I have because I really want you to understand the meaning of each step of this North American decarbonization roadmap for the aluminum industry. I think is very interesting. I think more than a call to action is like a basic procedure, that will help the industry to understand what is the path that we need to walk in order to get into, this green wave. Some of the things that I am seeing right now is United States needs to understand two or three different things. The first one is technological approach. Technological approach will give United States the real tools to be more efficient, to understand how the recycling rates can grow up, and also to understand how we can really implement different type of scraps, but being more efficient. This is one of the steps that we need to understand. Second, we need to understand very well the profiles of the people that we need in the industry. It's very important for us to understand that every piece of equipment has some characteristics that allow us to get into the point that we want to go, right? Or to get. But we need to understand that knowing the process, knowing the system, knowing the equipment is very important. It's not just to push a button and that's it. No. So people, profiles, knowledge is very, very important in this. And the third thing I will say is we need to stop comparing the secondary industry against the primary industry. There are totally different industries. And if we want to say that we are green and that we are going in the right direction just because we are doing some recycling process instead of doing mining and creating aluminum from the minerals, I think is not the real good approach because you need to compare apples to apples. So let's dig in this. Let me write some of the segments that I have, and then what I will do is I will read, and then I will give you my point of view, and then we will move forward in that direction. Okay. So the first thing is like how we introduce ourselves into the decarbonization roadmap. So let me read here because this is something that I am not creating. It's something that the Aluminum Association created like a few months ago. And I think it's something that we really need to understand. And it's a really beautiful piece of paper that we need to read carefully. So the Aluminum Association report emphasized the urgent need for decarbonization. As one of the major industrial sectors, and we are talking about aluminum, the aluminum industry plays a crucial role in global emissions. Why? We are seeing that a lot of things, a lot of different industries being growing exponentially the last few years. I am talking about green buildings. I am talking about, and I mean, build buildings and houses here in the US is some of the most strong, let's say, industries that we have in our economy. Why? Because people here used to make a lot of money on investment in properties, right? So this means that we will see more grow and in different, let's say, states, right? So what I'm meaning here is building buildings and houses and whatever it is something that been in the United States industry for a long time, since long time ago. And people love this industry. So we are seeing this industry growing after the pandemic, growing a lot. So we are using more and more aluminum there. Alternative energies, we are using aluminum a lot. EVs or electrical vehicles, definitely I think is one of the industries that is growing the most in the last 10 years, and even less in the last 5 years. Space chips and electronic devices. So aluminum is something that is moving forward very fast, is growing, and we will need more and more aluminum in the industry from now to the next 10 years. So aluminum industry definitely plays a really important role into the industry, and the roadmap recently released in May 2024, sorry, by the Aluminum Association lays out a comprehensive, and hear this carefully, lays out a comprehensive plan to reduce carbon emissions and move towards a more sustainable future for the aluminum industry in North America. Let's talk about the aluminum industry in North America for a while. Aluminum industry in North America has a really nice history with Alcoa and all these big companies that started this industry, and they are keeping there, moving forward. But saying that, it is important for us to understand that the aluminum industry needs to change fast, and actually is changing very fast. But in order to help the industry move in this direction faster, we need to focus on what is the right way to do it, because it's not enough just to move fast. It's something that we need to understand. It's not just about speed, it's about accuracy, right? We need to understand how to put the right, let's say, piece of equipment in the right company in the right moment. So I think this overview of the decarbonization roadmap of the aluminum industry in North American market is a tool that allowed us to understand the different point of views that we need to go and learn how to play in all those different levels. So let's talk about the key strategies and initiatives. So what are the keys? What are the key strategies proposed in the roadmap? And this is very, very interesting, because here is where we can define what are those steps that we need to take in order to move in that direction. So first, energy efficiency. And here I will do, let's move forward, and then I will do some comments. Energy efficiency. And they say, by optimizing our processes and adopting more efficient technologies, we can reduce our energy consumption. That's the first one. Let's hold on for a second. So we need to go for adopting more efficiency technologies and also optimizing the process. How? This is very, let's say, it's an important point of view that we need to understand very, very well. The European market, they did this a long time ago. They don't have the flexibility we have in the US. And I've been talking about this for months, and maybe for years. The last 2 years, I've been talking about this. What is the issue that I'm seeing here? We need to understand the process. The process itself is something that can be more efficiency if we understand how to play with the process against the technology. United States is crazy about rotary furnaces, for example. Just to give you a quick example. Rotary furnaces, they are a really, really nice tool. They are fast, and they are very flexible because you can melt there whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want, draws, aluminum engines or engine blocks, transmissions, profiles, aluminum chips, aluminum UBC that is used, beverage cans, whatever you want. Just throw it there, melt fast, boom, liquid aluminum coming out. The problem is, from the energy efficiency point of view, it's not that efficient. And from the aluminum recovery point of view, it's bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. So, and we have a third point here, that is, you cannot alloy in this type of furnace because you have a lot of different contaminant elements like iron material or whatever it is. So what you need to understand is, rotary furnaces, they are good, yes, for some applications, but if you want to go and understand the technology and the efficiency of the process, you need to understand how to match scrap and technology. This is the first point. Now, the second is the integration of renewable energy sources as a critical point of view to, if you understand very well, the energy industry is the most, how can I say, is the industry that is creating more CO2 emissions than any other industry, right? Is the number one. So when you go and you say, oh, okay, we need to electrify everything, people is talking about renewable energy or electricity, like solar panels or wind, or I don't know, use steam, or as you will see in some of the new episodes of the Dirty Scrap podcast, they are people that they are doing some really crazy approaches with technology and processes that they will create energy like hydrogen or jet fuel, are different type of technologies that they are using, or natural gas or waste product to produce energy. This is one of the approaches. The problem is, we need a lot of energy. Even if we are doing recycling, we need a lot of energy, and let's say the size of the equipment is going to be big, crazy big. But even though, the second step is, okay, now I understand technology, process, let's focus on renewable energy. Then what they said is they want to transition to solar, wind, or other renewable energy will significantly cut our carbon footprint. That's what I just said. Then finally, technological innovation will drive this transformation. From advanced recycling method to new production technology, innovation is at the heart of the decarbonization roadmap. Saying this, I don't really think that the United States needs to innovate in the technology. We need to have an innovation mindset that will allow us to understand how other countries like Spain, Germany, Italy, how they make this transition, and we need to understand how this transition was made on those countries to make the same transition here, but without so much pain, because transition always has some pain on it. Now, let's talk about the collaboration and the stakeholders engagement. Why? We need to understand that no one can do everything by themselves. So we need to collect a lot of different people. We need to collect a lot of different technology, knowledge, in order to put everything together to understand what is the best solution in order to move forward. Saying that, and I will give you an example about what we do in our company to create the right solution, because we believe that integration is the key point here. Once you understand how to integrate different type of companies, mindsets, approaches, technology, you will be able to close those gaps that you have in the solution, so you will be more able to create something great, right? So let's read what they say about collaboration and stakeholder engagement. So achieving these goals requires collaboration, of course. The roadmap stresses the need for industry stakeholders, including manufacturers, that's the one. Then suppliers, of course, policy makers. We need the government involved in these, and we need the government. I think what we need to do is the government need to cut the flexibility we have in order to push the industry to say, okay, now and we need to put all these different type of, let's say, mindset to work together. Then government policies and regulation will play a pivotal role in supporting this initiative. By aligning our efforts, we can overcome barriers and drive meaningful change. Definitely. And it's just what I just said. If we are able to change our mindset, and if we are able to understand that we need to integrate different type of approaches, boom, it's going to be easier for us to go in the direction that we want to go. Because remember, two heads thinks more than one. And it's very simple. It's, common sense. So that's what we are doing in our company, because that makes sense to have a lot of different type of resources, because you have people that is giving more input for the solution, for the approach, for solving a problem, for whatever it is. So United States needs to understand that we need to partner up with so many different companies and industries in order to go in that direction. Then challenges and opportunities, and here I think is one of the most important let's say, steps that we need to approach with this roadmap on the decarbonization of the aluminum industry. Why? Because when we understand the challenges, we will be able to grow. And let me read this, because of course there are challenges. Transitioning to new energy sources and technologies requires significant investment and infrastructure change, right? Saying this, United States is one of the, or the biggest country in the world. The economy is great. People is always making something different to push the society ahead. Well, we can talk about different things here with Biden, but let's not go in that direction. Saying that, we really need to understand the investment and the change on the infrastructure. Infrastructure needs to change like this. And it's going to be a big change. So, however, these challenges bring opportunities for growth and innovation. Companies that lead and adopting these practices can gain a competitive edge and contribute to a more sustainable industry. Of course, that is common sense. If you go and you understand how to play this game, you will be the leader. Saying that, and again, this is something that we need to understand. Once you have a challenge in your life or in the industry or in whatever area of the life, society, countries, whatever, is because challenge just appears when your skills are not enough to keep moving forward. That means that in this point of the United States aluminum industry, we are reaching a limit. We are right there at the age that or we change our mind and the technology and we understand how to improve our skills, our knowledge, the investment in the technology, then if we don't do that, we will be behind everyone, right? So what we need to understand is, how we can move forward, how we can achieve more knowledge, how we can take more knowledge from the people that already walked this path and how we can implement this on the transition that we want to make in the United States. The first thing that I want to say here is we need to stop comparing secondary aluminum industry with the primary one. That's the first step. Why? Because no matter what, if you start just, let's say, recycling aluminum and melting aluminum scrap, you will need less energy if you compare the energy intensity that you will need for melt down scrap against to do primary aluminum. Of course. So if you go in that direction, okay, I am just melting aluminum scrap. If you compare me with, I don't know, Alcoa or Rio Tinto, obviously my energy consumption is very low and my CO2 emissions are lower comparing to them because I am a recycler. So I don't need really to invest too much in technology, innovation, or infrastructure. And it's not like that. We need to compare ourselves with ourselves. We need to compare the secondary aluminum industry as it is right now, as it was like 10 years ago, and the secondary aluminum industry that we want to be. Then we will understand technology approaches, innovation, process development, and aluminum recovery. We need to make this one, aluminum recovery is very efficient because once we understand that, we will partner up the right technology against the scrap. So our efficiency will go up like this, our profit will go up, and then we will be able to invest more in technology and in people. Once we understand how to implement investment in technology and people, we will create a really nice process. So stop talking about secondary industry against the primary one. Make no sense. Let's compare apples to apples. Then the final one before the call to action is, and this one is very nice, the impact on the aluminum industry. So the impact of this roadmap on the aluminum industry. So the impact of this roadmap on the aluminum industry is profound. That sounds great, huh? It promises long-term environmental and economical benefits, including reduced energy costs, that is great, improve market competitiveness, I don't know how to say it, sorry, and a positive environmental footprint. Of course, once you understand how to be more efficient, you will create more aluminum recoveries out of the same volume. So you will sell more aluminum and you will create less draw, less byproducts. So you don't need too many people to deal with that. You don't need to put some investment, huge ones, to deal with the byproducts, and you are creating more aluminum. So you are making more money. It's simple as that. Companies aligning their operation with the roadmap will not only help the environment, but also position themselves as industry leaders in the sustainability. We just said it, right? If you are able to change your mindset, understanding the technology, understanding the people you need, the right profile of the people that you need in order to improve your process, you are in the right path. And then low down your CO2 emissions is very simple. Once you understand the technology, once you understand the type of burner, the scrap, the furnace, the casting system, how to move the aluminum in the best way, boom, it's done. So let's go for the call to action. Just to finish this video, I don't want to stand too much. I don't want this to be something that you don't want to see on the full detail. But to wrap up this episode, I really want to encourage you guys to read the paper, to understand those, let's say, 4 or 5 steps that you really need to focus as a secondary aluminum producer, and then understand what is the technology that you really need to invest and what is the infrastructure that you will need in order to be profitable for the next 10, 15, 20 years. How you can make your company profitable and be a leader on the sustainable point of view of the aluminum industry. Let me know what you think about it. Let's read the paper. It's an amazing one. Please take a look on the video with Chuck. It's beautiful what he says about the roadmap, decarbonization of the aluminum industry, but also he's talking about different policies, different approaches. And guys, let's move forward. Thank you so much for being here with us. I'm Julio Quintero, and this is Dirty Scrap, the Aluminum Podcast. See you later.